Pittsburgh is an industrial city, which means that most of its growth occurred decades and decades ago, but that doesn't mean we don't have our fast-growing areas, and that's what we'll talk about in today's video. In the Pittsburgh region, things have grown from the city center and outward as people keep leaving and going to further places with new construction and where there's land availability. Now, in today's video, I'm going to share 5 communities that are experiencing tremendous growth, and these are communities you might want to take a look at if you're relocating to the Pittsburgh region. Now, you might expect a lot of these communities will be in the outer suburbs, but I'll have a few surprises for you that a couple of communities that are within Allegheny County are still experiencing growth. My name is Mark McClinchie, and if you're new to the channel, I help relocating buyers every single day moving to the Pittsburgh region. And the first community we're going to feature as one of the fastest growing areas in the Pittsburgh region is Jackson Township. You'll find Jackson Township about 30 miles north of downtown Pittsburgh. It's in Butler County. And the reason it's one of the fastest growing areas is because Butler County is very popular. You have low taxes, and there's a lot of land out here, and you're seeing newer construction. Now, the Cranberry area, which you've been kind of poking around and learning about the Pittsburgh area, you've probably heard of Cranberry, super popular area, but it is getting a little crowded. And so just north of Cranberry is Jackson Township. And so this is the next area that is starting to grow and develop very rapidly just in the last 5 to 10 years. Jackson Township is easily accessible to Route 19 and I-79, as well as the Turnpike. What's really cool about Jackson Township as well, it has close proximity to the small little town of Harmony, as well as Zelienople, 2 cute little towns that kind of give you that small town feel with lots of shops, cafes, and restaurants. Now, Jackson Township is a little further out in the suburbs, which might give some people pause, but with work from home and hybrid working, it's really not that bad of a commute. There's a lot of people that also work in many of the business parks and offices in the North Hills, Wexford, Cranberry area. So the commute, depending on if you don't need to go downtown, isn't really too bad, making this a popular area. And even if you did go downtown, the drive is actually really short. I drove up from downtown Pittsburgh today. It was a 28-mile drive, and it took me exactly 28 minutes to get here. So it's all highway, it's the Parkway North, and then I-79. There's no traffic, and you make great time. So if you look on a map, you're going to see Jackson Township in one of those outer ring suburbs. Maybe you think that's beyond the reaches of the Pittsburgh market, but it's actually a very easy place to commute. One of the challenges of moving to an outer ring area is perhaps it's so new and the school district isn't quite developed, doesn't have the resources, but that is definitely not the case here in Jackson Township, which is part of the Seneca Valley School District, which is super, super popular, incredibly well-resourced, and it has an established school district that is very popular with families wanting to move here and send their kids to Seneca Valley schools. A lot of newer schools are being developed and renovated in Seneca Valley, and most of that development is happening up here near Jackson Township. A lot of the price points in these neighborhoods are probably in the 4s, sometimes they creep into the 5s, but you can get really nice 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath colonial home that's brand new at a very low price point compared to the rest of the Pittsburgh area, especially in a prime district like Seneca Valley. So another fast growing area you'll want to check out, Cecil Township. Cecil Township is located in Washington County. It has definitely grown immensely just in the past 10-20 years. You have lots of newer housing development. Some of the reasons why it has become very popular and growing rapidly is it's in Washington County. A lot of people have been maybe priced out of Allegheny County or looking for a lower tax burden. So Washington County has become very popular for that. And Cecil Township is located right near South Point. South Point is one of the major suburban office areas that we have. So for people that are not going to downtown, Cecil Township is a prime area that is still located to a lot of businesses and industry. Cecil Township is definitely very popular because of the school district, which is Cannon-McMillan School District. Another great amenity of Cecil Township is the proximity to parks and recreational opportunities. The Montour Trail is super popular with many of my clients. It's more than 50 miles throughout the Pittsburgh region. Now, the commute to downtown Pittsburgh is going to be pretty lengthy. Mileage-wise, it's not too bad. You're talking about 20 to 25 miles. So the commute could be a little lengthy for those that are considering Cecil Township as a location if you need to regularly get to downtown. And Cecil Township is pretty spread out. It doesn't feel super crowded, even with the new development. Plenty of land down there, so it's kind of spread out, which is going to make it pretty car dependent. Well, most of the neighborhoods will be easily walkable, but to run daily errands, you're definitely going to need to get in your car. And you can get close to the Bridgeville area, the South Hills area, but it's still going to not be a 5-minute drive. You're looking at 15 to 20 minutes to run some of your daily errands from Cecil, so just keep that in mind. And next, we're going to talk about the community right next door to Cecil Township on the other side of 79. We're going to talk about Peters Township, which is in Washington County. Great option for people that are trying to leave Allegheny County, where things are a little more crowded. Property taxes are much higher in Allegheny County, particularly in the South Hills. So people that still want South Hills options, Peters Township is definitely something to consider. Distance from downtown is about 25 miles or so to make it to downtown, but you are looking at, probably a 40 to 45 minute commute. So that might not be the great option for some folks, but with so many work from home options and suburban business areas that have office space where people are working out of, Peters Township is definitely a very, very popular area. It's been experiencing growth for the last 2 or 3 decades. There's a lot of land down there, so developers and home builders are always finding opportunities to build new housing. The Peters Township School District is tremendously popular. You have school renovations and school improvements happening throughout the district. The Montour Trail, as I mentioned with Cecil Township, continues through Peters Township. Very popular amenity. What's nice about Peters Township, there are several housing developments where the trail kind of goes through the community, so people can just step outside their backyards and access the trail very easily. Peters Township is situated, as I mentioned, just below Allegheny County, but the heart of the South Hills is around the South Hills Village area, where you've got all the big box stores, you've got Whole Foods, Trader Joe's. So you're near a major retail center, only 10 to 15 minutes from Peters Township. Overall, the median home price in Peters Township is definitely on the high end. In fact, it's the highest median priced home of any municipality in the Pittsburgh region. You're talking somewhere in the mid 7s for the median sales price. So, if you got a larger budget and you're looking for a great suburban community and you're looking for some growth, be sure to check out Peters Township. And surprisingly, for our last 2 communities, we're actually heading back into Allegheny County. And let's start with Ohio Township. Ohio Township is just about 10 miles from downtown, located right off of the Parkway North, not far from the Ohio River. One of the reasons why Ohio Township is growing so quickly is definitely due to the school district. The Avonworth School District ranks very high, has a solid reputation, and a lot of the people moving here have kids and are moving here specifically for the schools. And again, there's a lot of undeveloped areas in Ohio Township, but developers have found places to put communities like the one I'm in right now. So this is one of the neighborhoods not far from Avonworth High School, and you can see some of the homes that are nearby. And most of these were built in the 80s and 90s, but there are still newer developments going in throughout Ohio Township, closer to I-79. A lot of people move here also because they want to be in the North Hills, but they feel like maybe the Wexford or Franklin Park area just is a little bit too pricey. So you're going to find a few lower price points in this area than you will in some of the other North Hills neighborhoods. So let me tell you a story about some recent clients that bought here in this neighborhood. And the reason they did, they were actually looking to buy inside the city. The commute time for my buyer was absolutely one of his top priorities. And we looked in the East End and Shadyside and just weren't able to find things that were move-in ready enough with their budget. We looked at other North Hills neighborhoods like Fox Chapel and Hampton, and some of those, the commute times were a little bit lengthier. And so when I suggested, other North Hills neighborhoods like Wexford or Franklin Park, they just felt that was too far of a commute. And so I said, well, there's this smaller community that's growing can. It's not nearly as big as those other, but Ohio Township was my suggestion. And so we zeroed in on Ohio Township, and sure enough, we found some options there. And one of the homes we toured, they absolutely loved. And one of the things that my clients still say to this day is just they love the proximity to downtown. They can get there in about 10 to 15 minutes, which is totally rare for a neighborhood like this. You just can't find that in very many places in the Pittsburgh region. So my clients are super happy with a newer home, meets all of their needs. They love the school district. They do have a young daughter that has given rave reviews to the school system, having a great experience. So if you are looking to move to the Pittsburgh area and you want to troubleshoot what are the right neighborhoods that are going to meet your needs, whether your priorities are schools, the homes, the commute times, give me a call. I'd be glad to help you, just like I did the clients I just shared that story about. So let's discuss another rare area inside Allegheny County that is also experiencing a lot of growth. Let's move over to North Fayette Township. It's an area that doesn't get a ton of attention. Talk a lot about South Fayette Township. That's a popular area and pretty well known to a lot of people, even from outside of the area. But North Fayette at some point feels like a rural school district. It's in the western side of Allegheny County. So it's a great little location. You can get to downtown probably in about 15 miles, but you're looking at a commute of roughly 30 minutes or so, depending on what part of North Fayette you're in. But North Fayette is close proximity to the Robinson area, close to the airport. There's a number of large light industrial and business parks out that way, huge Amazon facility that's bringing in a lot of new workers. North Fayette does have a variety of housing options, from single family homes, townhomes, homes of different price point. North Fayette is part of the West Allegheny School District, which is definitely growing in performance. It's climbing those school rankings very, very quickly. So I think as more and more people are moving out to that side of Allegheny County, you're bringing in more resources, and the school district is making big investments, improving the schools, facilities. North Fayette has price points that are going to compete very well for inside Allegheny County. You're going to see, single family homes on the lower end, especially when you compare it to some of the neighbors like Robinson Township or the Moon area. So North Fayette is definitely a place where you're going to get a more affordable home, you're going to get an outstanding school district, and you're going to get a decent commute into the city of Pittsburgh. All of the communities I have featured thus far in the video have been suburban areas that are experiencing a ton of growth. But let's look at something a little different. Let's go to some urban areas where we're looking at growth and revitalization. Some of you, if you've paid attention to Pittsburgh, might be familiar with the neighborhood of Lawrenceville. Lawrenceville has sort of been the it neighborhood for the last 10 to 15 years. Tremendous amount of growth, but it's kind of saturated. Prices are really high there. And if you're looking something like Lawrenceville, these are 3 communities right across the river that you're going to want to check out. I don't have time to go into each of these individually, which maybe I'll do a future video on those. So we're talking about the neighborhoods of Millvale, Etna, and Sharpsburg. All 3 of these lie on the Allegheny River, just on the other side of the city of Pittsburgh. So you have close proximity to everything going on in the city, like Lawrenceville and Bloomfield, Highland Park, and the rest of the East End. But these are small little towns that are kind of in the suburbs. They're in suburban school districts. Millvale and Etna are in the Shaler School District, and Sharpsburg is in the Fox Chapel School District. But these are great little towns that are really growing, and I think their best days are definitely ahead of them. And now is the time to check them out. You've got a great food scene in each of those communities. You've got coffee shops, tattoo parlors, breweries. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of vibrancy and energy happening in those 3 communities. So if you're looking for something a little different, maybe this video primarily focused on suburbs is not your thing, check out Millvale, Etna, and Sharpsburg. Those neighborhoods are going to be super popular in the coming years. I hope you have found this video useful in exploring some of the high growth areas in the Pittsburgh region. If you're thinking about a move to the Pittsburgh area, please shoot me a text. We can set up a free consultation and we can talk through commutes and school districts, pricing, and find the best neighborhoods that are going to fit your needs the best. I want you to be able to go out there and shop with confidence, and we'll develop a plan to make that happen. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.